Good morning. It is amazing to be talking with you from Henry County, Georgia, and you all are up in Kentucky. I think technology is amazing, isn't it? Um,
Sure.
uh, I know that we are part of a larger meeting that you all have going on, so I want to be respectful of that. But we are excited about the opportunity to talk with you and share a little bit about our work here in Henry County Schools. We'll go ahead and get started. First, just to be clear about who all is coming on from our side. My name is Karen Perry. I'm the Special Projects Coordinator in Henry County Schools. We have a Gates Foundation grant to establish personalized learning district-wide in all of our schools. We had a plan to do that anyway, but the Gates Foundation funding provided us catalyst and resources to help us do that work faster and better and smarter. We're part of the Next Generation Systems Initiative. It's similar to the NGLC work that the Gates Foundation has had going on for some time, but this challenge is specific to large districts across the country. And so they threw open the challenge to large districts across the country to make personalized learning happen in their district, and we accepted the challenge because it's what we wanted to do anyway. And so we are one of those 6 districts that the Gates Foundation is in part funding. That grant is due to end in a few months, and so the district is now picking up all expenses related to continuing the personalized learning work across the district. So that's what I do. I coordinate the NGSI grant work. I also coordinate the district work for personalized learning in the district. So I help schools redesign. I help set other work in motion about district supports for supporting schools and personalized learning. And so I want to talk a little bit about that this morning. Going to be joined, they're not here yet, but I'm going to be joined by Aaron Schmuel, who is the Assistant Superintendent for Leadership Services. He's leaving another call, and he has confirmed that he's going to be on this as soon as he finishes his other call. The other person who's going to join us is Melissa Thomas. Melissa Thomas is a data and assessment response facilitator. Melissa is the project lead for, we have another small grant for assessment for learning that is in part in conjunction with NGLC, and she's going to explain more about that work when she arrives. But Melissa coordinates the work related to responding to data in the district. She coordinates the work that is related to that assessment for learning grant. So she does a lot of work with feedback loops, and she also is, we unofficially call her the Queen of Rigor in the district. So she does a lot of work with teachers about improving understanding of depth of knowledge and increasing rigor across the district.
We'll start with just a little overview of Henry County. Give you a sense who we are. So you see where we are right there on the map. We're about 25 miles south of Atlanta. We are a suburban district who has become a suburban district over the last 10 to 15 years. We have 50 schools, 42,000 kids, and you see some other of the stats there. We are currently a majority minority district. That's not what we look like. As you can see in that graph in the corner, that's not what we looked like 10 years ago. But we've had a pretty big shift in our demographics. We think that's an important part of our story because we have an obligation to meet the needs of all the kids that we serve. We have a lot of conversations about the fact that we need to teach the kids who are sitting in our classrooms today, not the ones who we might have had 10 years ago or the ones that we think we wanted. And so that's about being a digital generation. It's also about the culture and community that our kids are coming from and acknowledging that. You also see the second graph on the right talks about our economically disadvantaged population changing pretty significantly. We're almost 60% free and reduced lunch now. That also is a big discussion for us when we say we have to meet our kids in different places. We have to talk to them in different ways, and they might not all come to us the way that we want them to come to us, and we just need to teach them where they are and who they are. And so that's been a big part of the transition story for us. So when you talk about the moves of personalized learning, that stuff's valuable, but it really has to get down to the why and really focusing on what's the reason for doing any of this stuff differently. And so our why looks a little bit like our community is different, but it also looks like, we're not maximizing what we need to for our kids. You can see our graduation right there is approaching 85% as a district. That feels good. But when we started this work, we knew we still had almost 30% of our kids who were not graduating on time. And so we're closing that gap. But we also look at what's the value of the graduate that we actually have. So our SAT and ACT scores were kind of flat. They're starting to trend upward. But so we're graduating kids, but then we had to ask the question, just because they got a diploma, does that mean that they're ready for a college career in life? And so we really wanted to push on that and say we have to have different expectations than just earning in Georgia 23 credits and calling it a day. Are they really ready to go out into the world and be contributing citizens?